All right, commission members, please announce that you're here with us today. This is the April 18th, 2024 Maryland Alcohol, Tobacco, and Cannabis Commission meeting. Commissioner Silverstein is here.
Robert Poole is here.
Do we have Commissioner Morset? Commissioner Buck? Commissioner Wall? If not, go ahead.
I'll just say, Mr. Chair, just to let you know, we did have prior commitments from Commissioners Buck and Wall. Just tried calling. Commissioner Wall went right to voicemail. We did not ever hear back from Commissioner Morset.
Okay, well, we're going to begin the meeting, and I'm going to ask for the executive director's report.
So this will be, obviously it's our second month now without a quorum, so this will be an unofficial report, and there will be no minutes made of this. We'll just combine it. But what we did this month was, because we didn't have a quorum last month, is we combined the numbers from our last actual meeting, which was on February 15th. And the numbers are pretty big, but they're not big because it's 2 months worth. It's big because we have a full staff of agents now, and they're doing a lot of work. So for the last 2 months now, combined, they did 722 tobacco and 722 cannabis inspections, 430 alcohol inspections. And of the cannabis inspections, they found 67 locations that had some type of product on scene that probably wouldn't be authorized, but for the injunction that we're under right now. And then they found that in 67 different locations. And this is what's kind of staggering: the volume of seizures and the values, the tax losses. From other tobacco products, the seizure was 307,302 individual sticks of other tobacco products, worth almost $215,000 of tax loss. It's just under 1,600 packs of cigarettes, yielding a tax loss of over $12,000. There were 58 bottles of spirits, 408 cans of beer. And these took place in 15 of our 25 jurisdictions, 24 counties, and then Baltimore City. Allegheny, Anne Arundel, Baltimore County, Caroline, Charles, Dorchester, Frederick, Hartford, Montgomery, Prince George's, Somerset, Talbot, Washington, and Worcester County. Jumping over to human resources and our staffing issue, we just completed at Friday our one vacancy, which was for our for our assistant director, rather, in charge of the Regulatory and Administrative Services Bureau. We've winnowed this down from a large amount of people to the top 18, and then from the 18 winnowed down to 10, and just completed the last 10. So I expect by week's end or sooner, we will have made a selection from those final 10 candidates. So that will bring us to full staffing at that moment. Really, the General Assembly session since we last met has ended now. It ended last Monday. And from our perspective, there were two bills we were interested in. One of them was our budget bill, and it passed as we submitted it, as we asked for it. It passed unscathed, which is terrific. So it not only gives us the money to operate for another year as we would, but they added extra money in that we'd asked for to make considerable technology improvements. So they gave us an extra $1.1 million for these improvements, which is huge for us. And what most of that money is going to be spent on is building out our licensing and permitting platform, which we expected to be able to do two things. One, is going to allow the applicant to go online through a portal and create an account and do all of their business with us from that portal. And secondly, be able to receive documentation back through all of it. So they're going to enter in the information in the portal. They're going to be able to make payment in the portal. Our team is going to make sure all the I's are dotted, the T's are crossed. And then once so, we'll be able to issue the permits or licenses back to them. And if all of this works as well as we certainly hope it does, we may next year look to see look for legislation that might allow us to issue electronic copies of licenses rather than hard copies, which will save us a ton in mailing. And quite frankly, it's how most people want to do business now. They don't want to get the mailings. So that was big for us, having our budget remain intact, and it was beefed up a little bit so that we could really have these advances in technology. The second bill that passed is this cannabis bill this year that was really to correct the bill from last year and to make certain modifications. And it was a big bill, but there were two areas that we were particularly interested in. One of them is one that'll help us operationally. Currently, when our agents find cannabis violations, our only recourse for placing charges is to fill out an application for a statement of charges, have a court commissioner issue the charge, a summons or a warrant or whatever would be appropriate. What we asked for, because the three charges that we can charge for specifically are misdemeanors, we asked for the ability to charge on on criminal citation rather, as opposed to having to get a summons. And the General Assembly has approved that. Both chambers did, and it's sitting on the governor's desk. We fully expect him to sign that by April 25th, which, if he does, even better, is it reduces our number of commission members from 7 back to 5. As you may recall, when cannabis became legalized and they thought cannabis, the whole administration was going to be within our commission, they added 2 new positions to account for that cannabis element to our commission. When it didn't happen, we ended up with these 2 positions that understandably were never filled, but it left us with a new quorum number we had to make of 4, which is what we suffered last month rather, and to some extent again this month. This should be our last month of that problem. If, as I expect, the governor signs that bill on April 25th, our quorum will be reduced to 3. We'll have 5 members, as we have currently, actual sitting members, and our quorum will be reduced to 3. So hopefully this is the last month we have an issue with quorum moving forward. With that, Mr. Chair, I turn the floor back over to you. Thank you.
Does anybody have any new business? If not, we look forward. I know we're going to get a new member to the commission and look forward to having them join us. And I thank you all for your time, and we'll see you again next month.